Hello and welcome to another edition of Son of Kaiju Review. I'm Protomet.
I'm Tank.
And today we are talking about Gappa the Triphibian Monster, or Monster from a Prehistoric Planet, which is an absolutely inaccurate title.
They stay on Earth.
I mean, unless you're counting Earth as a prehistoric planet, which...
It was?
I mean, technically, yes. I mean, I assume that most planets are prehistoric...
In their own way,
prior to having life. So, I mean... I guess it's technically not inaccurate. It's just...
No, I don't... Okay.
But yeah, no, Gappa the Triphibian Monster, a.k.a. Kaiju Gappa.
Ooh, Kaiju Gappa.
The movie like that is...
Kaiju variant?
Not by the same company. This was made by Nikkatsu.
And the other one was Toho.
Yes. I recognize the name Nikkatsu, but I can't offhand recall anything that they've done.
Hands are dry. The movie starts off with like people on a boat.
They're going to like some island that has just emerged.
Yep, that are native folk on them.
Okay, it's not an island that has just emerged. I do not know why I said that. I'm not even sure if it's one that they've only recently discovered. Because there's definitely an implication that it's been discovered before.
Yeah. So, there's people on the island.
And some of them speak Japanese or English, depending on which language you're watching it in.
Yep. No go, Gappa angry.
Yes, the natives are a bit concerned that the presence of not natives might be either upsetting their god Gappa, or Gappa is super pleased.
They don't know. They don't know until like a guy and a girl.
I know it's like some scientists and some news reporters who are going to the island to basically do what they were doing in Mothra.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then the movie turns into Gorgo.
Yep.
Because they find an egg that hatches into a small creature called Gappa, which they then take back to Japan. And then it becomes Mothra meets Gorgo. Because it's got the plot of,
Mothra with the guy. Hypothetically, it would be the egg. The Shobi gene.
It's got like a newspaper tycoon who is basically intending to use... a magazine tycoon who's intending to use Gappa as the star of an upcoming amusement park to help promote his magazine, Playmate. Not that Playmate, I don't think.
Get that out of your head.
I mean, we never really find out what kind of magazine it is.
No, we do not.
Other than that, it's the kind that is willing to publish Gappa's face on its cover and sell billions.
Yeah.
Presumably.
So they're on the island. The natives pretty much throw a little party for the
scientists
and the news reporting people. And they try to talk to a little boy that believe is in blackface.
I'm pretty sure all the natives are in a close equivalent to blackface. They are probably meant to be Polynesian characters, but I don't know if any of them actually were Polynesian. Yeah. The boy, especially late in the movie, it kind of becomes a case of, okay, yeah, no, this boy's skin tone keeps... it seems to darken over the course of the movie. It's like,
no go, bro.
It's kind of that situation where, like, I get it. It's not like
it's a different time, but it still doesn't make it right.
Right. I get you're one island nation who probably doesn't have a huge population of natives from another island nation.
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah. So the little boy shows them a stone statue, and they try to. I believe one's a scientist and one's news or magazine person.
Now they're both scientists.
Okay.
Because they work at the same lab later on.
And the native boy tells them, no, don't go near Gappa angry.
Because the natives believe that their god Gappa is in charge of the volcano that has been on the verge of erupting lately.
Mm-hmm. And
then they find
Gappa, actually the volcano causes an earthquake and causes the stone statue to fall over, breaking, and then they find a way into a cave. And they go into the cave, they search around, they find an egg.
They find giant bones too.
Yes.
They just kind of assume that the natives just saw these bones and assumed that there was some god or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how old these bones are because, well, we get the egg that hatches.
Exactly. And who knows? It could have been we don't know. It could have been Mama and Daddy Gappa meal from one day.
Possibly. So anyway, the visitors to the island radio back to the magazine magnate, letting them know that they've made a huge discovery. And the magazine magnate's two assistants convince him that they probably got sunstroke and are just going to show off a burnt lizard. It's probably nothing to get too excited about.
His reaction about possibly them bringing back a burnt lizard is outrageously funny. Because he's just like... He's pissed off.
He's absolutely livid.
He's like, a burnt lizard? What?
So, are they trying to make a fool of me? Until they get onto the boat before it can arrive in harbor and actually get a look at the creature. And it's like, I ain't no burnt lizard.
It's the funniest thing was, he approaches them and just starts berating what he said, berating them, and he's like, no, it's not no burnt. One of them goes, it's not no burnt lizard. It's a lizard of some kind.
You can take a look for yourself.
Yeah. Oh, we'll make millions. Right away. They see a creature that they not used to seeing, and right away, cha-ching! Money.
So they technically smuggle it into Japan because they don't go through customs.
Yeah.
And they allow the scientists to do research on the creature, which grows incredibly big rather quickly.
Yes. Fair to say not as big as Mama and Papa, but...
It's definitely a case of a Gorgo situation.
Yeah. Like in Gorgo, we think
Gorgo is as big as it gets, and then Mommy shows up.
Yep. He's like, holy shit.
We will be making a lot of comparisons to Gorgo, because this movie's plot is very similar to Gorgo. Though the movies have a 6-year difference, with Gappa coming out in 1967, whereas Gorgo came out in 1961. So it's...
Great suit design, though, for Gorgo.
Yeah, Gappa's not too bad.
Oh, yeah, Gappa's pretty good, too.
Gappa aren't too bad either.
It's better than some of the old Ultraman Kaiju costumes.
I mean, it depends on the era. I think early Ultraman and Ultra 7 costumes are fine.
Well, yeah. It's not like now where some of them you just see walking, all of a sudden they're all bouncy.
Yeah,
and then
some of the 70s era's Ultra costumes is like, yeah.
Just like, yep, that's a dude in a suit. Okay.
That's purely an opinion piece.
Exactly. Now you get the costumes of today, or the costume are damn near CG. they look like the actors can barely move in them sometimes.
They look good, though.
Oh, God, yeah.
But that's neither here nor there, because we're not talking about Gappa.
I don't know why we keep bringing up other things. Gappa is still kind of a good movie. I blame you. I know. I randomly just pointed out a light bulb. It's the light bulb's fault.
Yeah.
Okay, so prior to them getting the Gappa to Japan, Mama Gappa and Daddy Gappa leave the cave and fly to the ocean, and then they start walking to Japan.
Well, I was kind of zoned out at parts of this movie. Again, it's not a bad movie. It's just very derivative.
Yes, if they took a couple scenes out, it would maybe better.
That having been said, I do know that there's at least one other piece of media that references this movie quite blatantly. Mm-hmm. I'll get to that towards the end.
So Gappa, Mama Gappa, Daddy Gappa show up, and so simple enough, they're just walking to Japan. Like, the naval forces start attacking them.
Because they're giant monsters in a 60s kaiju movie.
Yeah, just like, a threat! Attack! Missiles!
A thing that we don't know! It's obviously a threat! I gotta admit, Mommy and Daddy's rampage goes on for a lot longer than Okra's does in Gorgo.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that the guy is refusing to let them give Gappa back.
Well, again, the military probably isn't even aware of the fact that there's a baby Gappa on the mainland.
I kind of forgot that Mama and Daddy Gappa have like Godzilla-esque atomic breath. Maybe not as strong as Godzilla's, but
I mean, it's probably just fire breath.
Because
there's no reason to assume that these creatures are nuclear in nature.
No.
So,
just meaning with it being like the bluish in color.
Well, that means that it's an intense heat if it's a fire.
Yeah, blue. When it's blue, it's just like it's at the hottest point.
No, white is the hottest point. Blue is pretty hot. Unless you're, like, filtering it through chemicals or something. Then you can get, like, a whole spectrum of colors depending on what element you're burning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, some that can produce green flames.
Back when I went camping with my folks, they'd always put a piece of, was a garden hose inside of a steel pipe, and then they put it into the fire, and when it burnt into the thing, you got like green, red, purple colors. I believe just burning through the different materials of the hose, it made the different colors.
Okay. Interesting. Mm-hmm. I understand why you told this story. I don't know why they did that. Maybe just to show it off or something.
We were young. We enjoyed the colors. Unless we were all on an acid trip and it was not even there. Okay, so back to the movie, I suppose.
Yeah, at some point the magazine magnate does reveal the existence of the baby Gappa to the public, and people just buy up the magazine in droves, probably unaware that it's connected to the two giant monsters that are either approaching or just showed up.
Mm-hmm. They cause a decent amount of destruction.
Oh yeah, they actually just go on a warpath through a number of different cities just to get to the baby.
Yep. There's a scene. Actually, it's the same scene where the magazine guy is flipping about a burnt lizard. As his daughter is there learning fan dancing, and she pretty much tells her daddy she wants a new mommy. It's not really part of the plot, but he's trying to hook him up with his dad.
Admittedly, I've been kind of wondering when we should even mention the daughter, because she is a present element in this movie, but it's just kind of not very much of an opportune time to mention her at any point. Well, she is there at various points in the movie, but she's not super relevant until right towards the end.
Well, pretty much she tries to tell her dad to let the baby go, and he says no, and she like as a kid, it's just like, you're mean, I don't like you anymore. She runs up the stairs, and people follow her, and then we don't see her for the rest of the movie.
Also, at one point, the magazine magnate goes to the science lab that they're doing research on the baby Gappa. And he's surprised that the thing can produce electricity. Like, at first, you think that he's using, like, some sort of cattle prod to electrocute Gappa. Mm-hmm. But no, the electricity is actually coming from Gappa itself. Mm-hmm. Though he is still scaring the baby.
Yeah. Gappa, baby Gappa. Yeah.
You feel bad for the baby.
Oh, well, yeah.
At this point. I mean, the scientists, they're being completely, like, humane about it.
Yeah, they're feeding him and everything, and this is like
giving him bigger cages to inhabit as he grows up, because they're surprised that he's growing as big as he is, but they're doing their best to be accommodating.
It could be like that's just how their growth span is.
Oh, yeah.
They're hatched, they're little for a little while, and then
the growth spurt pretty quickly. I mean, it's not quite as big as its parents, but
no, but it still be considered a kaiju.
Yeah, it definitely towers over humans.
Yeah,
I think they have to like interact with it on like the second floor of the lab, because the cage takes up like 2 floors, and that's how tall Gappa is at this point. I keep wanting to say Gorgo for some reason.
Well, it's a similar movie.
I know. I keep correcting myself before I actually do say Gorgo. But
yeah, I've noticed that I hear a G sound, but then you go Gappa. Gappa.
Gappa.
Gorgo. Gappa. Yeah, so Mama and Daddy are started doing destruction, looking for the baby.
They're just going on a tour of destruction. That's the phrase I was going for.
Just like they look around, hey, it looks nice.
Now not. What you gonna do about it? You think that affects us? We're kaiju.
It's like karate chop.
I mean, the scientists and the news reporters that they've got, they try to convince the magazine magnate to let the baby go and return it to its parents, and it's like, well, first off, I own this thing because I funded the research. But second thing, how do you know they're going to stop rampaging if we give it back to them? How do you know that they're not going to just keep rampaging?
We don't.
And then the daughter is like, you better give Gappa back to his parents, or I'm not going to like you anymore. It's like, oh.
It's like,
all right.
Yeah. Apparently, children, like, it's fond of children.
Probably because it's a kid itself.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. The little native boy hangs around for a good chunk of the movie, too.
They give him clothes.
They give him clothes?
Instead of a loincloth.
Which I don't know. Somehow makes it seem more racist? I don't know. Maybe...
I don't know.
Again, like I said, over the course of the movie, his skin tone seems to get darker.
Oh yeah, it's like dark.
Like, yeah, it's uncomfortable to look at. I know that they're going for Polynesian, but
Polynesian is more Samoan,
right?
So
I mean, I get what they're going for.
yeah, but they're not that dark.
Yeah, it's just like it's definitely a criticism I can give this movie. Is like it doesn't feel like culturally sensitive in that regard. Again, I understand why, because they didn't exactly have a large Polynesian population in Japan who are also actors. So.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of the scene in Blazing Saddles, where he's dressed up as a Native American, and we got African Americans.
Nope, don't really recall that scene offhand. Should probably watch that movie. That's a great movie.
Yeah. Yeah. The baby tries to roar to get the parents' attention, but it can't. It's not loud enough.
But they have a recording of the roar, and they put it through like a megaphone or something to amplify it so that the parents can hear it.
Yep.
Gappa is reunited with his parents, and then they all fly off after Daddy gives a brief lesson to the baby.
Okay, wings. Flap, flap. Take off. Flap, flap. Land. Flap, flap. Now you
like they're gliding.
Yeah.
To be honest.
For the takeoff, they flap, and then
for the takeoff they flap, but for the actual flying, they're just gliding in a way that is absolutely aerodynamically impossible, or at least impractical.
I believe they were toys.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. And then they leave, and
then we got end credits. Well, not really, but the movie ends pretty much. Oh, by the way, our copy ended up having a song play it.
We were watching the English dub of the movie, but it was the Blu-ray we were watching also included the Japanese version, and we had the subtitles on for the entire movie because it started off with Japanese language and then we switched over, and then we discovered that the ending had a song playing in the background that with actual singers in the Japanese version, but it was just a purely instrumental piece in the English dub. So I was like, well, okay.
Yeah. It's a good movie, but I've seen better.
Yeah.
But we've definitely seen worse.
I mentioned this before, but at least one piece of media has definitely referenced this, and that's Dragon Ball Z. Because I do know that there's one episode of, at the very least, the anime, where they basically recreate the plot of this movie, except instead of a movie magnate, it's a movie producer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember. And Videl learns that Gohan is
Great Saiyaman.
Great Saiyaman. You gotta teach me to fly.
And Gohan knows that the parents are just wanting their kid back because he's familiar with them. He knows them because they're from where he lives. It's a good episode.
Oh yeah,
that does have a good twist right at the end. And twist if you're. I can't remember how it's handled in the manga. I do know that it's something similar happens, but it's been a while since I've read the manga. But I remember that this specific episode did always kind of stick out with me, especially after watching Gappa. Because this episode is just straight up a ripoff of Gappa in a good way.
Oh yeah. I like the design of Gappa.
Yeah, kind of the Kappa-looking flying lizard creature look to it. It's fine. It's definitely distinct.
Mm-hmm. You don't see it very often in the media. Like, I see Parrotmon?
Parrotmon? Yeah, I can see that. Kind of a bit of it.
Yep.
From Digimon.
Yeah. Yeah, we see him once in the movie. Digimon.
Damn good. Damn good movie.
Wee bit better than this one, but
yeah,
I still respect this one.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't really have much more to say about it.
No, it's a fine tokusatsu movie. It does feel like a ripoff of Gorgo, but it does enough different to be distinct.
Yeah, these ones can fly and Gorgo can't.
Plus, they rampage for a lot longer.
Yeah.
For a lot longer in the course of the movie. Like, they show up like around the halfway point of the film.
Well, Gorgo takes down Big Ben.
Or Ogra, yeah.
Yeah, Ogra.
Ogra takes down. They even included it with the toy that came out last year.
Oh, really? It came with Big Ben?
That was one of the stretch goals for their crowdfunding campaign.
Little.
That and the baby. Although the baby was an early stretch goal. But that's a topic for another video entirely.
Well, I think we could end it here.
I do want to say that I do kind of hope next year that Titanic Creations, the company that made that Gorgo figure we just mentioned, I hope next year they go for a Gappa set with both parents and the baby.
That'd be nice.
That would be nice.
If you guys listen, a little hint there.
They probably already know. They're probably already in talks. I mean,
yeah, probably.
They currently got some other stuff going on right now, though. They're currently, as of the recording of this, they are currently in the midst of crowdfunding their Pulgazari figure, which I've already
pre-ordered.
Yeah.
And that's why Protomed is broke up. Just kidding.
No, but they reached their stretch goal, so it's definitely coming out. At this point, they're just now going for like, okay, what else are we including with it?
I would recommend maybe the girl in it, like the main.
Well, they've already got like
things.
Yeah, they've already listed like here's what will also be included if we get these many orders of the thing. So like, yeah, no, we know what we want to include, and this is all of it. Like, I'm pretty sure they've already got like the tiny version also included.
Oh,
the baby Pulgasari.
The one where she. Not one. It's not super duper tiny yet.
Yeah,
it's like after
around human size.
Yeah. Kid sized.
Yeah. But that's nothing to do with this movie.
No. Yeah. I do recommend this movie if you're a Kaiju fan. If you want.
It's not one of the best Kaiju movies, but there are certainly far worse movies that we've covered.
Oh, yes.
Like, this is, like, I would say upper mid-upper tier.
Well, I think it was better than, what was that one? Not Galaga, fuck, they go, okay, they get, like, a thing from a meteorite, and then it turns into the, like, robot chicken looking.
Oh, X from Outer Space.
There we go.
Yeah, way better than that one.
X from Outer Space. I couldn't think of X from Outer Space. And that girl that was dubbed over.
Anywho, that's a topic for a video we've already covered. Our podcast we already covered. Yeah, so
I guess they're
I don't know why we're filling out time at this point.
I don't know. I tried to end it plenty of times, but you just found everything.
I'm sorry. Until next time, I'm Protomet.
I'm Tank. See ya. Bye.
Bye.